Hello and welcome to the Black Canyon 2024 Runner Race Brief. I am your race director, Jubilee Page, and I want to welcome each and every one of you to Race Week. We're getting it going. We're ready for everyone to come and experience this tremendous race. So thank you all for participating. We hope to give you as much information as possible going into your race week, getting to race weekend, and preparing you and your crew for an exciting time here in the desert here in Arizona. So we're just going to jump right into it. Basically, what I want to do is kind of give you an overview of all of the information that is available to you and your crew on the website through the runner guides, on Ultra Sign Up, and anything else that you might want to know headed into your race. All right, so let's get going, and we are off to the races. All right, so first things first, if you guys are not familiar with any of the information on our website, please take a chance or take a moment to review all of the information on our website. There's always being updated. We have links to your runner guides. We have additional information. Most of your information is going to be found on the race info page, and then your course info page as well. So if you need to review your course, if you need to download your course or GPX file to your watch, make sure that you're available to do that, and you're going to find that there on the website. But go ahead and review all of this wonderful information here on the website, Black Canyon Running. It's Aravaipa.com, Black Canyon Ultras. Let's go ahead and look at, we're going to start with the 2024 runner guide. This has been the most updated. It was just updated on the 2nd. So last Friday is going to be your most recent update for that runner guide, just with all the information that you're going to need for race week. Then we also have the crew guide that is now available, some additional info for your crew, including directions to the aid stations that are crewable, and some of the rules that we anticipate following on the race weekend as well. So let's go ahead and we're going to dive into the runner guide. This is your Black Canyon 2024 runner guide, last updated on the 2nd. We are very excited. Black Canyon, again, this year is going to be presented by Hoka. We are so excited to have them as a partner again this year. And so they're going to be out there, and they make just some wonderful additions to this race, just with their support. So thank you to Hoka and their team for coming out and making this race even better each year that they come out. So shout out to Hoka, and we'll get to other sponsors as well. But just as a quick look, this is your welcome. And a quick look is your 100K Saturday. If you are in the 100K, you will be running February 10th. That is Saturday. And then on Sunday, we will host the 60K on February 11th. And if you have decided to challenge yourself this year, we also have the 100-mile challenge that is both Saturday and Sunday. So if you run both the 100K and the 60K, you actually get 100 miles for your weekend, which is the challenge of the Black Canyon Trail. So if you are running for the 100-mile challenge, just be aware that you are running both races, February 10th and 11th. Your start location for both races is going to be at Mayer High School. So that is in Spring Valley at Mayer, Arizona. We are going to anticipate some cold mornings on race day. So make sure that you check the forecast and that you are prepared. The lovely thing about Arizona is during this time, we see a very rainy season. We also see fluctuations in our temperature. So this year we have seen, in the past, some very hot years, but this is not going to be that year. This is going to be a very cold weather year. So just be prepared, check the forecast, make sure that you have layers and you are ready to go. So Mayer High School is going to be your start location for both the 100K and the 60K. Your cutoff times there are listed for the 100K is 20 hours, for 60K is 12 hours. Your Western States qualifier, if you are seeking a Western States qualifier in the 100K only, you need to finish the race in 17 hours to qualify for that lottery. For the finish lines, they're just slightly different. The 100K finish is going to be at Emory Henderson Trailhead. That is in New River. So you are running point to point all the way from Spring Valley in Mayer, Arizona, all the way south to Emory Henderson, which is in New River, and that is just north of Phoenix. So essentially you are running from Mayer almost to Phoenix through on this incredible Black Canyon Trail. The 60K finish is going to be new this year. It's going to be hosted at Deep Canyon Ranch, and we will talk a little bit more about Deep Canyon Ranch and that adjustment for the 2024 race and subsequent years. We are looking. We are so very excited to partner with Deep Canyon Ranch going forward. Black Canyon, I think, is going to be it's going to have this potential for growth. And so we're very excited to host the 100K aid station at Deep Canyon and then the 60K finish at Deep Canyon. It's a beautiful area. It's a beautifully maintained ranch. And it's, with the rains that we've gotten, is very, very green. So I think runners will really enjoy that location for this year. Let's talk about bib pickup. There have been some questions, so I just want to clarify with bib pickup. We actually do have 3 different opportunities for bib pickup. So 3 opportunities for the 60K and 2 opportunities for bib pickup for the 100K. And I'm just going to jump right back to the website just to verify. So if you go to race info on our website and you scroll down here to bib pickup, you will see that we will have a pre-race local pickup here in Phoenix at the Aravaipa headquarters Thursday, February 8th. That's this Thursday from 12 to 5. That is for both the 100K, 100-mile challenge, 60K. Everyone's welcome. It's a very easy process. It's a drive-through process. So you drive through our main headquarters and pick up your packet. We do not have drop bag drop off at the Aravaipa headquarters, so I just want to make that clear that we won't have drop bags dropped off here at HQ, but you can pick up your packet if you are local, or if you know someone in the area that is local and you are worried about making it to the expo, or you're worried about making it to the Saturday pickup if you're in the 60K. We do not have race morning pickup at either event or either race morning at Mayer High School. So we want to make sure that you are prepared and that you have your packets and your bibs prior to race morning. So that is one thing that is off your plate that you don't have to worry about. And you're going to pick it up at one of these locations. So again, Thursday, Friday the 8th, we'll host a drive-through packet pickup from 12 to 5 here at Aravaipa HQ. Then we have a pre-race expo. That's Friday. That's when all of the fun stuff is going to happen. We've got Hoka Shakeout Run happening before the expo. We have an athlete panel scheduled for later that afternoon. And it is going to be hosted at Shalene's, which is also a new location for us, but we are so excited to be at Shalene's, and it's a great local restaurant. And so if you want to kind of come and grab some lunch or grab some dinner and pick up your packet and kind of make a day of it with your crew, with your family, whoever you're going to bring, I highly recommend coming to the Race Expo if you can make it. Again, that's from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Friday the 9th at Shalene's in Black Canyon City. For the 60K, if you are not able to make it to the local pickup or the pre-race expo on Friday, the 60K also has that third option on Saturday to come to Deep Canyon Ranch, and we will host a registration packet pickup there Saturday, again, times 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. And come in and see the excitement and watch a little bit of the 100K coming through and get a sense of where you're going to be at here in Black Canyon City, and come to Deep Canyon Ranch and you can pick up your packet anytime from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. That said, with this packet pickup, I know some people are concerned. They're flying in. They might, kind of cut it close. I want to reiterate that we absolutely allow family members and or crew members in your crew to come and pick up that packet for you. So if you know someone local to the area, if your family family is here, if your friend is here who's going to crew you or pace you or whatever it is, and you need them to pick up your packet, that is allowed as well. So you are welcome to pick up your packet essentially by proxy and have someone do that for you. Okay. So that is your packet pickup info. Just make sure that, you can go back and forth between the info on the Black Canyon runner guide and the information on the website. The runner guide is really subsequent or just additional information for runners. So it's just to kind of break down all the details, but I know that I have had some questions about the various packet pickups. So I just want to make sure that everybody knows their options this week as they prepare. All right, so we're going to go back to the runner guide again. That was your packet pickup information. We also, at the runner info, this kind of breaks down a little bit of our activities. We have the Hoka pre-race shakeout at Deep Canyon Ranch starting at noon. And we have an elite athlete panel from 3 to 4. So we have the women's panel and the men's panel scheduled for 3 p.m. and 3:30 p.m. So come and meet the athletes and hear, their race strategies for race day. This is so very exciting as we are a Western States qualifier, but we were also a golden ticket race for the Western States race for 2024 and 2025. So for 2024, we are the golden ticket race. So the top 3, not just the top 2 this year, but the top 3 in each race. So the top 3 women and the top 3 men in the 100K. So our podiums will all earn a golden ticket for the Western States qualifier for 2024. So we're very excited to be able to host an incredibly competitive field. And if you guys want a glimpse of those athletes and their strategies for race day, come and join us for the elite athlete panel 3 to 4 at the Runner Expo. Again, just reiterating for the packet pickup 60K, you have an additional packet pickup at Deep Canyon Ranch from 1 to 7. If you have any questions about picking up your packet or anything like that we have not covered, just make sure to email us and we will answer any questions that you might have. All right, race rules. I'll kind of go over this briefly, but please make sure that you and your crew know the race rules for this event. This is a closed course. That means all runners are going to follow the course as marked in the direction. Any cutting or deviation from those courses, the course marked, is going to result in a disqualification. We want you to go ahead and observe any trail etiquette. Make sure that there's a lot of single track on this course. So just making sure that you will be kind to your fellow runners. And then any additional, this is a public trail. It is utilized by bikers, hikers, and equestrians. So if you come across equestrians on the course, just make sure that you understand the right of way on the trail and you make room for everyone utilizing the trail this weekend. Pets are not considered pacers and are not allowed on the course. So any pacers that we have or that you have will be human, and so no pets on the course. Littering is a non-negotiable that is strictly prohibited, and that includes what we say organic waste. I don't know how many times I've actually seen runners take either a banana or a watermelon and they bite into it and they start down the trail and then they chuck it into the desert. Please do not do this. If I or one of my volunteers or my aid station captains catch you doing that, it is grounds for disqualification. Please practice what we call leave no trace in the desert. It is those things do not biodegrade as people would think. It takes a long time for those things to do that. And per our permitting, we just want to make sure that we're respecting the trail and this incredible landscape that we're very privileged to be able to have as our as our playground. And so please, please, please respect the trail, respect the landscape, and respect the desert, and don't chuck things into the desert. If you are running and you see, little tabs from goos or wrappers or anything like that, please be kind and pick that up, for the runner who was ahead of you, and store it until you can find a wastebasket or a trash can at our aid stations. So we just want you to be aware and make sure that you dispose of your waste and trash and even organic waste, things like that, appropriately. Trekking poles are allowed. There is quite a bit of climbing in the second half of this course for the 100K, so just make sure that if you do need it and you want to bring those out, trekking poles are absolutely allowed. Please be respectful of all of our volunteers, officers of the public trails, park rangers, any other public users, our race staff, captains, anybody really associated with the race. Please be kind and respectful, and even our medical staff. So that's pretty self-explanatory. For the 100K, we do not allow like mid-race drops to finish. So we don't allow 100K runners to stop halfway and claim a 60K finish. So we're not going to switch distances in between your race. So you're going to start what you finish. If you start the 100K, then you either finish the 100K or it's a DNF. Same for the 60K. And yeah. Cutoffs are enforced based on the time of your wave. So whatever wave you start in, that is like if it's the first wave at 7 o'clock or if it's the last wave at 8 a.m. for the 100K, your cutoff times are adjusted accordingly. And we can go over that timetable later on here in the runner guide that's listed out for you. I will say because of this year that we are adjusting just slightly the course, moving our crewable aid station from Black Canyon City to Deep Canyon Ranch. These cutoffs between Gloriana Mine aid station and on, they're going to be a little bit softer this year. We're going to give you a little bit of grace, understanding that with changes, we've lengthened some of the distances in between each aid station. So understanding that, if we have adjusted those miles, then we are going to give you a little bit of grace with the cutoffs down the road. So I just want you to know that for individuals who are worried about chasing cutoffs because we've added a half a mile or 3/4 of a mile here or there, that if you come into the aid station a couple minutes past, that we are going to be a little bit more gracious of letting you continue if you would wish to. That doesn't mean that you can come into the aid station 30 to 45 minutes later. So just be mindful, but I do want to kind of just make sure that everybody's taken care of, especially with the adjustment to this course this year. Official time is based on your gun time per wave. So that means, again, your official time is based off of your 7 o'clock start, 7:30 start, 8:30 start. Buckles, however, are awarded based on chip time. So that means, we have 400 people starting in wave 1. If it takes you a couple minutes to get past the start line, just to click it, then that will be worked into your buckles as well. So your official time, if you cross the 100K just within a couple of minutes past, then we'll look at your buckle, awarding that buckle based on that chip time that you cross the start line, if that makes sense. Trail running and trash, again, don't do it. Please make sure that you are disposing of your trash appropriately at each aid station. We'll have refuse bins at each aid station. We'll also have, as part of our GOO partnership, TerraCycling containers there at the aid stations. So any nutritional wrappers or GOO wrappers or things like that, please look for that TerraCycling container, and we will make sure to get that off to GOO and the TerraCycle Center. This is also a cupless race, so make sure that you are bringing something for hydration. You've got, bottles for water or a pack, but you also bring something for those sodas, for those electrolyte drinks, anything that you're going to kind of like quickly fill and go. We do not have cups, and we cannot accommodate 1,000 runners having cups out on the course for every single aid station. So it's our effort to minimize that waste and kind of take care of our environment as well. So make sure that, you can bring any container that you want. It can be an old soda bottle. It can be, we have those Ultra Spire collapsible cups. You can bring a flask. You can, you make your rules as far as your cup goes. But just make sure that it is a container that you carry with you so that we have something to pour into for those aid stations and requirements. Okay. All right, moving on. We've got a little bit of your map for Mayer High School. So this is your start location for both races, the 100K and the 60K. We've got a little bit of a map for the buses. The bus route will come in and do a runner drop off, but that is a bus drop off only. So I want to kind of, and we will go over this in the crew guide as well. Any crews who are looking to come to the start, I know that you want to see your runner. I know that runners, especially too, want to have their friends and their family come and see them and kick them off at the start of this amazing race. However, I want to reiterate that there is very limited parking at Mayer High School. Actually, there is no parking here at the high school itself, and very limited parking within Spring Valley. And I'll show you kind of highlighted areas where you can park if you would like to come. But as far as runner drop-off goes, the runners get dropped off by bus only up here. And if you are riding with your crew in the morning, just know that you are going to be diverted into one of these parking lots down here, and then you're going to walk up to the start line. So there's no runner drop off by cars, by your crew, by your friend, by your family, whatever it is. Cars will not be allowed past a certain point on this road this year. So we've had issues in the past, and certainly just with the amount of people that come to this race, we want to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to see the start. So we're allowing some parking here in Spring Valley, but there is no runner drop off at the high school aside from bus drop off. That said, if you still need to buy a shuttle ticket, you can still buy a shuttle ticket all the way up to this week and to the expo. So if you still need a shuttle ticket, you get to the expo, you decide, I think it's just better if I hop on the bus in the morning to make it easier logistically, for my crew, for whoever, you can still do that. So, and I'll show you where to do that a little bit later. But so runner drop off, no parking available at the actual high school. Okay. Waves are going to be for the 100K. Waves are going to be within 30-minute increments. Runners are assigned a wave prior to race day. We're going to have those final assignments for you, and then we will send out a link for you to look over that wave and just prepare so kind of if you're riding the bus, which bus to get on. If you are coming here with your crew to kind of park down here and walk up, just knowing, how to time that out for your wave. Wave assignments for the 100K are listed here below. So we've got the first wave, the elite wave kicking off at 7 a.m. This means if you are chasing the golden ticket, if you are looking to be in that elite field and you are looking to get into Western States via the golden ticket and you want that opportunity, you have to be in wave 1. So anybody looking to be competitive this year absolutely has to be in wave 1. So just make sure that in the case you were assigned to wave 2, but you want to be considered for that golden ticket and you're looking to chase this year, email us and make sure that you are in wave 1. Wave 2 and 3 are going to be assigned 7:30 and 8 a.m. And then there is just one wave for our 60K this year. And that again is Sunday at 7 a.m. For the start, when we get you going in the morning, everybody's going to line up here on the track. And then we do this every year, but we do one lap around the track before we kick you off onto the course. There might be a little bit of a bottleneck here behind here. There's a single track that cuts through kind of a rancher's or the school's property here. And sometimes there are cows in here, so just, make sure that you're aware. But this is a single track, so sometimes this will bottleneck. I just want you to be prepared as we send off about 400 runners in each wave, like 300 to 400 runners in each wave. Okay? All right. A little bit about your course. You can read about your course. It kind of breaks it down a little bit between like the terrain, what you're going to expect. I will say people tend to underestimate the terrain here a little bit, but it is a little bit more technical than what people give it credit for. We're out here in the desert. It is going to be rocky. A lot of it is wonderful switchback, single track. And then it's a little bit of a mixed Jeep road. We go through a mining road a little bit, and so just be prepared, study your course, look at the GPX file, understand where you're going to climb. And then, of course, depending on rainfall, we'll have crossings 3 times that you're going to cross the Agua Fria River. That is the main river that cuts through the course. And I will pull up the, let's pull up the 100K. Looking at your course, it's just such a blast. It really is. But when we kick you off from the Mayer High School, you're going to run a couple miles, at least 2 to 3 miles on the road, and you're going to connect to a county road that will then put you onto the Black Canyon Trail. Once you get to the Black Canyon Trail, it's going to be kind of a mix of Jeep road and single track trail. Once you get to Antelope Mesa, however, this is just a blast. It's a bomb all the way down to Hidden Treasure, and it's all single track. Have a lot of fun, but don't run out your legs just in this section. I think it's really easy to do. It's a lot of fun. It's a good cruise, but don't run out your legs and kind of pace yourself between Antelope Mesa and Hidden Treasure. Between Hidden Treasure and Bumblebee, I will say is an absolute. It's so pretty. I'm all over the place. It's really pretty, and it's a great section. And then you get a little bit of a climb after Bumblebee up onto the ledge, headed toward Gloriana. This section right here is also so fun, and I think it's just really pretty. You gotta dig into the swirls a little bit, and it's up on, like, kind of tucked into the mesa a little bit, with the county road paralleling that entire area. But I got sidetracked. We're going to look at the rivers here. All right, so here's the Agua Fria River. We are going to cross that twice. There it is. All right, so coming into Black Canyon, for the 100K, I want you to pay attention because as you're going to come down, you're going to hit the Agua Fria. This is the Agua Fria River. It kind of like does this snake around Black Canyon City. So you're going to hit it twice, but before you're going to cross it once, and you're going to go down to the Black Canyon City trailhead, which is going to be your number 6A. That's at mile 37. You're going to hit that trail. So you're going to come down, hit the trailhead, and then you're going to go right back up. So this out and back is very important. Make sure that you're aware of it. After you hit that first river crossing, know that you're going to have an out and back coming up. So just plan on that. So you're going to go down to the trailhead and then come back up before, and then you're going to stay to the left as you climb, and then it's going to shoot you down back to the river for a second crossing right after this aid station. So just making sure that you're prepared for that. Also, with the rain that we've gotten this year, I can guarantee that you will see water. How much water, we're still kind of waiting on, but definitely you'll have an opportunity to, cool off if you want to. I went to the river this weekend, and you can get across a little, by rock hopping. But with the forecast this week, I would anticipate a little bit more water. So you're going to see the water flowing here this weekend for sure. So we'll have water in the desert. Alrighty. Let's go over course markings really quick. The trail is going to be marked with orange ribbon and black polka dots. So this orange ribbon and orange pin flags, what I always tell runners is orange, of course, is your course. So if you keep in mind that every time you see some orange flagging with polka dots, orange pin flags, orange, of course, is your course. So you are on the right way. Wrong way will be marked with a blue and white checkered ribbon. So I always say, if you see the checkered ribbon, check yourself because you have gone the wrong way. Make sure that you are looking for laminated signs for any major turns. And then, of course, we have signs that say, and kind of warn runners ahead of time, that say critical junction ahead, meaning that you're going to slow down just slightly because we want to make sure that you are turning on the right course. A couple of junctions that I want you to be aware of is going to be right before Bumblebee. We're going to pull you off of the Black Canyon course and put you onto a cattle trail, horse trail, that's going to take you down to the road and across the road to Bumblebee Ranch. So you are going to miss just a small section of the Black Canyon Trail, but we will warn you critical junction ahead before Bumblebee Ranch, and then you will follow another trail down to the road across to Bumblebee Ranch so you can check into that aid station. And then once you get through that aid station, we'll kick you back to the Black Canyon Trail. It connects really, really nicely. The second time we're going to do that is at Deep Canyon Ranch. Deep Canyon has two connectors through that ranch as well. Let's see if I can pull it up here. All right, so here's Deep Canyon Ranch. We're going to pull you. There's this lovely little road crossing right around Soap Creek, where Soap Creek used to be. But we're going to pull you off of the Black Canyon Trail just slightly. Here's Black Canyon Trail. And then as you come down from Soap Creek, this is your connector through Deep Canyon Ranch. We're going to have you check into the aid station, and then we'll kick you back to the second connector. This is going to be a mining road. We are very thankful to K-Mine. They are actually an active mine here at Black Canyon City, and they have been operating, pulling core from that mine. But they are going to actually halt. They operate 24/7, but they're going to halt operations for us and for this race for 48 hours. So there are not going to be any kind of mining traffic on this section as runners traverse that road. So big shout out and thank you to K-Mine and K-Mine Metalworks for accommodating our race. But you are going to go ahead and pull off the Black Canyon Trail here and then reconnect via the mine road, and then you're right back onto the Black Canyon Trail. All right, so just be aware of those two junctions. And again, anytime you see a laminated sign that says critical junction ahead, just be wary that something's coming up and not to miss it. We'll also have wrong way signs out there, so just in case you do miss it, it'll say wrong way, and then of course we'll have that blue and white checkered ribbon to check yourself, turn around, and make sure that you find your course, because we want you to stay on course. Okay. Yeah. All right, moving on. Things that you need to know for Black Canyon. We do have several road crossings. The Black Canyon Trail does traverse county roads throughout the course. You're going to cross the county roads several times, and every time you do, we will make sure to mark that for runners, but we will also have sheriffs out there as well, crossing runners. I want to make sure that crews are also aware of this. So in the case that they are driving past a particular aid station, that includes like Bumblebee Ranch, runners are going to cross the road. And then at Gloriana Mine, Gloriana is right off of the main highway, and it is a paved road with a blind turn. So I want to make sure that runners and crews are aware. Please look both ways if you're a runner before crossing that road. And crews, as you approach those aid stations, you'll see signs that say runner on road, special event ahead, those kind of signs that will alert traffic to these crossings. I need you to slow down and just make sure that you are responsible motorists and that you allow runners to cross as needed. So at some of these crossings, we will have officers crossing the traffic as well. But just to make you aware, some of these areas are quite busy. So this includes like Table Mesa is going to be kind of a busier area as well. Shooting ranges. We always have to make sure that we talk about Table Mesa and other areas within this remote section of Arizona. This is the Wild West, and so we do have shooting ranges in the area. Table Mesa is a big recreational area for recreational shooters. So you may hear gunshots throughout the day as you approach Table Mesa, but I do want to just reassure runners that these ranges are not anywhere near the actual trail, and the ranges themselves, the target practice, are pointed away from the trail. So you will hear those gunshots, rifles, and other things throughout that section. But just be aware and know that they are not pointed at the trail. Gates. There are several gates. We just make sure that because this is an open range, we want to close those gates behind us and make sure that no cows or livestock or anything gets through those as you are traversing the trail. Running in the dark, we do have recommendations. I want to make sure that if you are dropping a bag at either Bumblebee or Black Canyon City, but it would be Deep Canyon Ranch, to make sure that you have a headlamp packed in one of those drop bags so that you can utilize it. We kind of give you some indicators of like when, as far as when you anticipate finishing, when you're going to pick up that flashlight. But I always say keep an extra flashlight and or a headlamp at that drop bag, which is going to be at Deep Canyon Ranch, before heading out of Black Canyon City, because you have a longer section for the 100K going down to Cottonwood, and a lot of that is going to be in the dark. Okay. Dropping from the race. If you do need to drop from the race, don't. But if you do, we want to make sure that you don't walk off course. You need to tell either a volunteer captain, and we also have ham radio operators who are in direct communication with our race operations. So find one of those gentlemen or find an aid station captain and let them know your intentions to drop. Regardless of the reason, just please do not call your crew and walk off course and have them pick you up. That's not how we operate this race. We need to account for every single runner who has started the race and then who is also pulling themselves from the race. So just please be cognizant. Crew as well. If your runner is calling you to come and pick them up off the trail, please make sure that you are communicating with Race Command that this runner is gonna come off course. So one of those ways to do that is to actually use our dedicated line. This is for MedStar Solutions. This is any emergency, but also direct to race command as well. So runners, if you are in need of help, or if you come across a runner in need of help, please do not call 911. Those resources in that area are very limited. And I can tell you that our first responders, our responders that we employ with MedStar Solutions, they know this race. They're familiar with the course. They know how to access the course in various areas, and they're going to get to you so much quicker than 911. So that is for crew as well. So please tell your family, tell your crew that you have a dedicated line for any kind of race emergency. This same number will be printed on your bib. So all of the bibs will have an in case of medical emergency or in case of emergency contact. This number right here is going to be printed on your bib. So that's 480-269-4126. Go ahead and plug that into your phone now and tell your crew to go ahead and plug that into their phone. So it's Black Canyon Race Ops or Black Canyon Emergency, whatever you want to call it. That is how you're going to get in contact with our emergency crew. Okay. So again, just to reiterate, do not walk off course. Just make sure that you communicate with us if you are dropping from the race. That said, I do want to make you aware of just one stretch here from Black Canyon City to Cottonwood. This is almost a 9-mile stretch. So as you're coming in, you see your crew at Deep Canyon Ranch. You get to Black Canyon City Trailhead, where we will have the Black Canyon Trail Coalition volunteers. They're going to be so excited that you're out there and that you're utilizing this incredible course and trail that they have built. They're wonderful, wonderful people. So they will see you at Black Canyon City Trailhead. But before you head out, I want you to make sure that for the 100K that this stretch here between Black Canyon City and Cottonwood is going to be almost a 9-mile section. So please prepare, get enough water, get enough hydration, make sure you have a headlamp, all of those things. And if at all you are questioning the viability of your race and you think about dropping, please drop here. Don't drop at Cottonwood. This is going to be an extremely remote and very hard aid station for our crew and our race emergency to get to. We can still get there, but it does take about an hour to get out there. So round trip is about 2 hours. And so I just want to make sure that in the case that you are questioning whether you want to continue and you are thinking about dropping, we would ask that you do that in Black Canyon City so that we can get to you much quicker instead of out into the remote sticks of the desert. All right, so just something to think about. Weather, let's go over weather really quick. So if you look at the weather forecast, we are looking at a very, very cold morning for the start and possible rain for the week. So I'm just going to pull this up really quick. We'll go ahead and send this link, but everybody, you can go ahead and Google the weather for the Black Canyon City area and also for Mayer. I want you to be aware that Mayer is actually at a higher elevation than Black Canyon City. So Mayer is going to be much, much colder in the morning. Oh my gosh. Much, much colder for the Saturday start. So this is your forecast as of today, which is right at the beginning of the week. So happy Monday. But looking at Saturday, we're looking at temperatures below freezing, right? So 27 degrees for your race morning, possible snow showers. I don't think that this is going to be correct. However, I do believe that it will be that cold. So you're going to anticipate anywhere from like high 20s to low 30s for Saturday morning. And a way just to prepare you guys for this, we want to make sure that you are welcome to kind of stay on the buses. If you are on the buses in that morning, you don't have to get off right away. You can stay on the bus and you don't have to depart right away. But also layers, so many layers. Please dress for the occasion. You can put as much layers. You can bring a sleeping bag. You can bring, blankets. You can, I don't know, dress like you are in Wisconsin, right? For Saturday morning, because we do, and I'll show you this here real quick. Oh gosh. Why jump? Haha. Okay, so I'm going to show you this really quick. In the morning on Saturday at Mayor, we're going to have these bags available to you. This is your warm-up bag. You're going to put your name and your bib number on there, and then we will take it to Emory Henderson. So if you want to just pack on the layers, the sweatsuits, the puffies, the whatever it is, and then right before the start, you can take off those layers, put it in this bag, and pop it into the field there at Mayor High School, and we'll collect all of those and then take those to Emory Henderson for you. Same thing for the 60K. 60K is going to be chillier as well, so make sure that if you wanted to dress for the occasion, please stay warm, and make sure that you can manage that cold in the morning so you're not freezing. Stay on the buses, layer up, and then utilize this bag for the morning, and we'll take care of the transportation for you. But I definitely want to make sure that you guys are that you stay warm in the morning. Okay, so that is your forecast for Saturday morning. Please anticipate cold weather. Also, throughout the day, like you're going to see that high of 42 degrees. I'm going to count probably more toward like 50s, low 50s, right? So it's still going to be cold. We're not concerned about managing the heat as much. You are going to get the exposure. We might get a little bit of sun, but anticipate at least for Saturday, it's going to be pretty cloudy as you move south. And it's going to probably stay pretty chilly here in the desert. And 42 degrees, 50 degrees might not seem as cold to people from the Midwest or, from Canada. I know that we got a lot of Canadians coming as well, but I want to assure you that this will feel very, very cold, especially in the desert. The ground just holds no heat. So just prepare for that and manage to put layers in your drop bags. Make sure your crew knows to pack extra layers for you, especially going into the night. So if you are planning to finish a little bit later in the evening, especially after the sun has gone down, make sure that you are anticipating a very cold evening, and pack those layers and pack something for your head and mittens or whatever it's going to be. All right. So that is going to be Mayor. Here's Black Canyon City. Again, 42, but like 50 degrees throughout the day. Still pretty cold. I think these AM showers are probably going to go away, and we might see kind of cloudy conditions, partly cloudy, little peak of the sun possibly on Saturday. I don't think we're going to get really any kind of rain, but again, this is just projected, so we're just going to kind of hang on. I will say this is where your river crossings are going to come in. We're going to get at least 2 inches Tuesday and Wednesday of this week, so that will fill those rivers just very nicely for everyone. But yeah, so anticipate that, but pack for cold Black Canyon this year for 2024. All right, moving on. That was the weather. MedStar Solutions. All right. 100K. Make sure that these are all clickable, but download your GPX file. If you have a watch, you want to stay on course, you're welcome to do that. Understanding, here's the elevation profile. Know that this is not, this is net downhill for sure. You're going to lose the elevation, but I do want to show you that you are going to climb, and most of the climbing is going to come in the second half. So just anticipate that you are going to climb a great deal in the second half after you leave Black Canyon City. Here are your wave starts, your cutoffs. Again, they are in line with the wave that you start. So 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 7, 8, then respectively have the 9:15 and the 10:15 and on down. So your final cutoff for the finish at Emory Henderson, still 20 hours all the way around. So if you start at 7, you have until 3 a.m. If you start at 8, you have to 4 a.m. At Emory Henderson. All right, so study those cutoffs. Again, we're going to be a little bit more forgiving with these cutoffs. They're a little bit more softer this year, and then we will kind of see how it fares for subsequent years. All right. 60K, again, study your course. 60K is going to be just slightly different. I'm going to pull this up real quick. Because of the course change, because of the loss of Rock Springs this year, we are actually going to do a short little out and back for the 60K. So once you cross that Soap Creek area, you guys, instead of coming directly down to the Deep Canyon Ranch, you're actually going to go to a newer aid station that we're going to call K-Mine in cooperation with the K-Mine operations there. So you're going to do, you're going to hit the aid station at K-Mine and then run down 2 miles to the Agua Fria, which is the river. So you have the option of kind of like dipping your toe in the river, kind of cooling off if you want to. It's going to be a little bit sunnier on Sunday, but you have that option. But just making sure that you go down to the river, you're going to dip your toe, you're going to come right back up. So that short little out and back here, back to K-Mine, and then you're going to finish to Deep Canyon Ranch from that second time that you see K-Mine. So this is the way we're going to do it this year. There might be a better option in years going forward, but for this year, with the sudden change this month or this last month, this is what we've come up with. And so we still want you to see the river. We still want you to kind of experience, the water oasis in the desert. And this is such a really beautiful area. It's very green, and especially now since it's rained, it's, this kind of little riparian area. So it's, very green, very lush, cool spot for the birds. And so we want you to see that. So you're going to go to the river and back and then finish. Okay. So once you hit K-Mine, know that you're almost done. And then we'll celebrate at the finish for the 60K. All right. Moving on. Here's your race info. Here's your drop bag info, your crews, your pacers, your race timing, all the things. Drop bags, again, we're going to allow you to have drop bags at Bumblebee. So any of the crewable aid stations, Bumblebee, Deep Canyon, Table Mesa, and then, of course, the finish for the 100K. That's also for the 60K runners. You are able to have a drop bag at Bumblebee Ranch if you would like, and then also a finisher drop bag at Deep Canyon Ranch. Bumblebee and... I would advise that if you have a waterproof drop bag, that you use it. Bumblebee is going to probably hold some moisture in its ground. I want to kind of warn crew members and runners who are placing drop bags out there that ground specifically will hold some moisture throughout the forecast this week. So all of that rain is going to be kind of sopped up into Bumblebee Ranch, and it does get muddy. So I'll review that again once we get to the crew guide. But if you have a dry bag, we actually give you a dry bag for the 100K and the 60K, and you can utilize that as your drop bags. Just make sure that your name and all the things are on there, but at least it's waterproof, and so it's not going to get soggy. But again, Bumblebee, Deep Canyon, Table Mesa for the 100K, and Emory Henderson, all drop bags. You can either drop them off at Shalene's at the Race Expo on Friday or race morning. Either one. If you want to kind of, not have to worry about it, you want to bring it to the expo, we're going to take those drop bags throughout the expo from 1 to 7. Bring your drop bags and we will shuttle those to the aid stations. And we'll do the same thing in the morning for race morning, 100K and 60K. We'll shuttle your drop bags to their aid stations. So it is very important that you label those drop bags. We want to make sure that your name and your bib number and the aid station that is going to is clearly written on all of those drop bags. We'll have tape and markers and all the things that you need to do that. I do want to comment that suitcases, large totes, things like that, we won't take it. So if you're going to pack a suitcase, if you're going to pack, a giant bin or anything that really wouldn't be accepted weight wise at an airline, we're not going to take that. So just make sure that you are packing effectively for your race without going overboard. All right. Cruise. So again, just a slight change this year. Instead of Rock Springs or the Black Canyon City Trailhead, we have moved all of the cruise to Deep Canyon Ranch, and then that's the 60K finish as well. But cruise, you're allowed to be to see your runner 3-4 times around for the 100K and then twice for the 60K. So Bumblebee Ranch is a great crewable area. Deep Canyon Ranch is going to be your halfway point for the 100K and the finish line for the 60K. Table Mesa also, and we'll kind of review where crews can be, where they can park, things like that as we go over the crew guide. Pacers, same rules. It's going to be at Deep Canyon Ranch at Table Mesa. You get 2 locations for the 100K. This is for the 100K only for Pacers. So at Deep Canyon Ranch, this is a mile, like 31.9, but it's about halfway from your race, of your race. So it's around mile 32, and then Table Mesa is around mile 51. There are no shuttles for Pacers, so I want to make sure that you lock that in as far as your logistics go on how you're going to kind of move people around. But all Pacers will have to meet their runner at those aid stations, but we do not have shuttles running back to those aid stations. So just making sure that you plan that logistically. Pacers must sign a Pacer waiver. We don't have any kind of Pacer check-in aside from making sure that they have a bib, and you can get that bib at any one of those Pacer pickups. So at Deep Canyon Ranch and Table Mesa, we also have those Pacer bibs available at the expo for you if you want to pick them up early and make sure your Pacers have Pacer bibs. We just need all the Pacers to sign a waiver before they hit the course. All right. Pacer rules. All of those race rules that we kind of went over also apply to Pacers. Only 1 Pacer per runner per section of the course. So whether you have, 1 Pacer between Deep Canyon Ranch and Table Mesa, and then you're going to pick up a second Pacer, or that Deep Canyon Ranch Pacer can run the last 50K with you. They can do that as well. But Pacers, they must be human and on foot. So that just means no bicycles, no pets. No muling as well, so no carrying your runner's gear or supplies. We don't want you to carry like additional water or anything like that. Your Pacer needs to be self-sufficient, as do runners need to be self-sufficient. So we ask that there is no muling at this race. Race timing, you're going to see a chip on your bib. You're going to actually see, I think, 2 chips on your bib. We ask that you do not fold, bend, or crease across those chips because your timing will depend on those chips. So just make sure the bibs this year are relatively small, and honestly, you can still fold them slightly, but yeah, I think here, we'll show you. Let's show you. Yeah, okay. So here are your bibs, just really quick to kind of go over. This is your 100K bib. The 60K bibs are going to be orange, and the 100-mile challenge bibs, just to kind of go over this, 100-mile challenge, you're going to receive 2 bibs. And so you're going to have this 100K bib that you're going to wear on Saturday. And then if you choose to go on with the challenge and you decide to run the 60K, you will have a second bib that will say 100-mile challenge that is slightly different than the 60K bib. So just making sure that you do have 2 bibs for the 100-mile challenge, and that you do not have to wear the same bib, because if something happens to the 100K bib, you're set for the next day. So on the back, you'll see 2 chips. Make sure that you do not fold, crease, or bend those chips. And then on the side here is going to be your medical emergency. And number. And then if you have a shuttle ticket, we have stamped those individuals who have already pre-purchased their shuttle with a little star right here underneath the Hoka. So if you still need a shuttle ticket, you can buy one at the expo and we will stamp your bib accordingly or punch your bib accordingly, but just making sure that your bib is your shuttle ticket. Okay. Boop. All right. We're going to move on. Race info. Here's your aid stations. Just kind of give you a clear idea of like kind of what to expect. Honestly, our aid station team and captains and aid station director Patty Curry she's magical. She's amazing. And she will absolutely take care of all your needs. We've got most of the basics there at the aid stations, but then we also, in the case that you have nutritional needs, we do have gluten-free and vegan options at aid stations as well. So volunteers, please be kind to your volunteers. Shout out to your volunteers. Thank your volunteers. Give them high fives. Give them hugs if you want to. I don't know. But just appreciate your volunteers. We cannot do this without our volunteers. And if you are a crew, if you're a runner who has a friend who is listening, who would like to see you somewhere else on the course aside from the crew area, we always need additional volunteers throughout the course. So you can go to our website. If you go to boop, 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 you go home to the website, here's your volunteer sign up as well. So if you are interested in helping with this race on race weekend, we still need setup volunteers, we need parking volunteers, we need aid station volunteers, and we would love to have you. So thank you to all of our volunteers for this race. We cannot produce it without you. They're absolute rock stars, and a lot of them really the community members helping you so they understand your goals and what you need to get out there. So big thank you to the volunteers. Here is all of your aid stations for the 100K and for the 60K as well. Kind of giving you an idea of where to crew and where not to crew, where your drop bags can be and where they can't be. And then the segments are kind of broken down as well. Again, between Black Canyon City and Cottonwood, you're going to see that 9-mile section. So just be prepared for that long stretch after Black Canyon City. Here's your shuttle info for the race. Again, we highly, highly, highly recommend that runners take the shuttle. Logistically, it is so easy for you to arrive right there at Mayer High School. You can stay on the bus a little while and stay warm. You don't have to get out and walk around or anything like that right before your start. And I think honestly, it's the way to go. I know it's not always the most fun to worry about getting up super early in the morning and catching a shuttle, but logistically it just makes sense because once you go and take the shuttle bus to Mayer High School, then you will run point to point all the way down to Emory Henderson. You will finish your race, and then we'll have shuttle buses picking you up from Emory Henderson back to your vehicle at Anthem, and that's only like a 10-minute ride from Emory to Anthem. So we organize that for you, and it's I think logistically just so much simpler to plan on taking the shuttle in the morning. So we highly recommend, if you do not have a shuttle ticket, can I just show you really quick? Here's the Black Canyon Ultra sign up page, and right down here below the Hoka logo says if you need a shuttle ticket to the start, you can click here and you can buy a shuttle ticket. Okay. It's still available. If you wait to the expo, it's premium pricing. So if you still need a shuttle ticket and you still need it at this, purchase price, then go ahead and buy a shuttle ticket this week before you get to the expo, and we'll make sure to accommodate that, for your race. Okay. So please get on the shuttle. That's it. Your shuttle schedule is going to be here. So wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, make sure that you check your wave. We'll send out a link so that you can check the wave that you're on. Then it will show you here's where you're going to meet the buses. You're going to park in this area right behind the Anthem outlet malls. You'll make sure to pick up the bus that has your wave in the window. So then your departure and then your arrival to Mayor on time, and then your wave start. Okay, so just make sure that you take a look at that shuttle schedule before race day, so you understand when and where to arrive. Finish line shuttles. This is for crews, also for runners. This is free for crews and runners, but there is no parking at Emory Henderson Trailhead, and we do this for permitting reasons. That trailhead is too small to really accommodate any more than public users and our volunteers, and there is absolutely no parking on New River Road. There is no shoulder. It is a very trafficked area. We want to make sure that people stay safe. So please do not, there's no shoulder really to park on. Also, just walking on that road is just not, it's not safe. So per our permit, and really just to make sure that everyone stays safe and that they are kind of following the rules, that you take the shuttle that is required at Anthem. And again, it's like a 10-minute ride to, it's like 10 to 15 minutes from Anthem to Emory Henderson. And those shuttles will start and then just kind of roll all day and all evening, starting at 1 p.m. And I think the last shuttle leaves Emory Henderson at 4 a.m. So all day long, you have an opportunity to jump on the shuttle and shuttle to and fro from the finish line. So there you go. That's it. Here is just a little thank you to all of our organizers. Here's a big thank you to the Black Canyon Trail Coalition. They are the ones who have built this trail. They are still building this trail. They're actually pushing north and expanding the trail. They maintain the trail. They're incredible volunteers, and we love them very much. And they're all local to Black Canyon, so they know the area really well. So if you can just give them a shout out and a thank you for everything that they've done to just create this incredible trail for you, give them a shout out when you pass the Black Canyon City Trailhead at the aid station there. And for the 60K, that would be the K-Mine aid station. They're going to be there as well. And they love that this trail is getting recognized, and that it is getting utilized by some incredible athletes, and really all the runners participating here at the Black Canyon 100K and 60K. So they're very excited to host you and to show you this landscape and to show you the trail, and they're very proud of it. So big thank you, and all of the shout outs to the Black Canyon Trail Coalition and their members. That's it, guys. As far as the runner guide goes, just shout out also to our supporting sponsors. Check them out. We've got Goo on trail at every single aid station. Squirrel's Nut Butter and Satisfy. They are in cahoots this year, but they've got some fun things planned for you at Bumblebee Ranch. They are going to be there activating at Bumblebee. We've got Tannery and Best Day Brewing and Goo at Deep Canyon Ranch activating as well. So if you've never tried Best Day Brewing, it is non-alcoholic beer, and they will have samples for you both at the expo and at Deep Canyon Ranch. So try them out as a cool opportunity and partner for this year. Okay, so that is your 2024 runner guide. Please review it. If you have any questions, feel free to email us Aravaipa Running, info@aravaiparunning.com. And really quickly, I do want to go over some of the things here in the crew guide. A lot of it is going to be kind of repeated information, so that quick look is just kind of a look at the race weekend, your bib pickups, all the things. We went over it. Just kind of a overall hello and welcome. Also, just giving you some important notes that we want to make sure that we can continue to operate this event in years going forward. And in order to do that, we need to be able to communicate to crews and anybody spectating this race that there are rules as far as where crews can participate, and that's going to be at Bumblebee Ranch and Table Mesa and Deep Canyon Ranch, and no other aid station. And the reason we do this is, one, because of permitting, but also because of limited space. There are a lot of runners out on the course. They all have families, they all have crews, and we want to make sure that we can accommodate these large crowds in the areas that we can. So we've had issues in the past with people parking on the road, or people kind of rolling up onto, some of the earlier aid stations where they're right off the county roads. That does not mean that you can stop or, spectate, because you're impeding traffic, and that you're also breaking the rules as far as, no crews in that area. I do not want to have to disqualify a runner because of crews not being able to follow the rules. So I just want to make sure that crews, if you are crewing your runner, that you pay attention to these rules, and that you are respectful of the race and the area and our aid stations, and that our permitting as well, so that we can continue to have this race year after year after year. Okay. Alrighty. So again, just a little bit of repeated information, cutoffs, elevation profiles, things like that, kind of your aid stations, where to crew, where not to crew, all of these no crews, just pay attention. And then here's your driving directions. This is the biggest thing with the crew guide. We just want to make sure that you're able to get to the areas that you need to get to. Mayer High School, once again, we ask that runners take the shuttle, but in the case that you do want to see your runner kick off in the morning, be cognizant of the waves that they're going to start in. So that would allow for people in wave 3 to come and park and have room made by like wave 1 and 2. So you can kind of see highlighted in green. This first one is right off of Spring Valley Road right here. This is a local pharmacy building. You can go ahead and park here in the morning. This is the LDS Church that you're welcome to park at. And then there are a couple of areas here. I would plan crews if you do absolutely have to be there to park here, and maybe not here. The only reason, if we do get rain, you're gonna plan on parking in the mud, and we don't have resources to pull you out of the mud. So just be wary of parking in these fields. This is right off of kind of the baseball field area, and if it does rain, it does get muddy. So these are really optional. So you can see how limited parking is. Again, no one is going to be allowed past this point in the morning. So this is a bus route only. This is bus drop off only. There are no crews. There's no crew drop off. So you can kind of see your options a little bit. So that's why we highly, highly, highly recommend that runners take the shuttle in the morning, so that there are no interruptions. Because if you can't find parking, that means you're getting dropped off down here somewhere and then walking up. So just bear that in mind. Very limited parking for the morning. Then you've got Bumblebee. Again, we're going to talk about the rain, and we're going to talk about mud. Bumblebee is, you're going to come off this county road, and I highly recommend, this pulls you down from Mayer to Bumblebee Ranch. I highly recommend taking the I-17 from Mayer High School down to Bumblebee exit, and then coming through to Bumblebee through that exit, instead of taking county roads down. County roads are going to be bumpy. They have washboards, and especially if it rains, it can be very, very muddy, and passenger cars aren't going to be, that's not going to be a fun time for passenger cars. So I just want to, if you do click on these Google routes, choose the option to take the highway down instead of the county roads. That said, once you get into Bumblebee, this is all crew parking. However, if it is really, really wet, and we will let you know in advance, crews and runners both, by Friday. We will tell you the conditions out here at Bumblebee Ranch, but we want you to be aware that we have had cars get stuck in the mud on really rainy and wet years. So we want to make sure that if you are rocking like a passenger car or a Prius or anything that's really not going to be all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, this may not be the best option to come and see your runner or crew your runner. But again, we will let you know on Friday. By Friday, we'll send out kind of here's your current conditions of each aid station. And this is the only one that we're really worried about, just because we know the amount of rain that it gets. It kind of sinks into this particular area really well. It's kind of built into a basin. It follows a river here, a little creek here. And this mix of land is kind of like clay and mud, and so it kind of sticks to your tires. So we just want to make sure that we're taking care of you. We're giving you all the information possible. So just be aware of the forecast, and we will let you know first thing on Friday the current conditions of every single one of these aid stations. Alrighty. Driving directions then from Bumblebee Ranch to Deep Canyon Ranch. That is going to be again, via the highway is the best way to take. So everything is paralleled on the I-17. Very easy to find. Instead of going to Rock Springs, you're going to exit just one more up from there. It's going to be Coldwater exit, and I think it's actually Black Canyon City, but it's on Coldwater Road. Very easy to access. And this is the old Black Canyon Highway. So you're going to exit off of I-17 coming south, and it's just going to kick you straight right onto the Black Canyon Highway here. And you're going to access the ranch. We have plenty of parking, so that's not going to be a worry. And then your main event site is going to be here. We have plenty of restrooms and crews. I want to kind of show you, like, you are welcome. You don't necessarily this is a crew zone. However, you are welcome to kind of like line the road here if you want to crew your person along this area. And then up above here, this is just kind of in a little bit of a bowl. It's nice and flat for our operations, but right above here, runners are going to kind of run up and then down into the aid station. This area is tons and tons of room for crews if they want to set up like a tent or chairs, or bring whatever kind of outfit that you want, and set it up for the day. Shade or rain protectant, whatever it is. You're welcome to set that up right up here. There's plenty of room to do that. There's also plenty of room down here as well. But this is kind of a cool area because they get to kind of like pass you, and you get to cheer them on the road before they drop into the aid station, and then they go right back out. So that is your Deep Canyon Ranch. Again, this is new for us this year, so we're going to see how it operates, but we are so stoked to be part of, to be able to work with Deep Canyon Ranch and their managers and K-Mine for accommodating our runners for the 48 hours that we're out on the course. So they have been tremendous partners this year, and they really came through when we lost Rock Springs. Big shout out and big thank you to Deep Canyon Ranch and Jake and Jackie, who are the managers there, and their family. And so, I'm very excited to show you guys this. And honestly, if you're camping, that's one thing we can talk about too. If you have a camping pass for the race that you purchased through Ultra Sign Up, then camping is going to be here. So you are welcome to tent camp. This area right here is just super, super green. The ground is nice and soft for stakes and things like that. But this is a great area for camping. Also, RVs and vehicle camping, lots of space here. I will say for RVs, there is no dumping and there are no hookups for in this area. So it is dry camping only for RVs, but lots of space to kind of spread out and make your own. So there you go. If you still do need to camp, again, if you go to Ultra Sign Up, just to the main Black Canyon page, and you're like, oh, nope, I forgot something, you can hit here and buy camping permit as well. Alrighty. Cruise. Alrighty. So for the 60K, I just want to point out also, here is your shuttle bus pickup. So in the morning for the 60K, if you are riding the bus, which we highly, highly recommend, again, you're going to come and park here and just follow it right down to the bus area. It's going to be clearly marked for you. There's going to be restrooms for you, things like that. Okay. Then we've got driving directions from Deep Canyon Ranch to Table Mesa. Again, you're going to follow the I-17 south from Black Canyon City to Table Mesa. Very accessible. You're going to follow the county road. I want everybody to be mindful for crews at least, that this Table Mesa road, please do not park on the side of the road. You are going to pass a couple of shooting ranges, but this is also a very highly recreated area. So you can have a lot of ATVs, OHVs, dirt bikes. You have equestrians out here as well. But it's pretty highly trafficked area. So I just want to make sure that don't park on the side of the road. There's no shoulder, and that you're wary that it's kind of a busier area. Once you get to the Table Mesa trailhead, you're going to follow this back. And this whole area is available to you for parking. And then all the way here as well. I don't know if I can. Aha. This back here highlighted in green, this is all crew parking. So what I would ask is that you do not park on the side of the road. It's called Little Grand Canyon Road. Don't park on the side of the road. There's no really shoulder for you to do that. And then otherwise you're in the desert and we don't want you to do that either. So please park in the designated areas. And up here as well. And then here's your aid station. So crews can kind of come up this way and then park anywhere in this area. Totally fine. I do want to point out that this area is highly used by recreational users as far as they come out, they camp, they park their RVs, they park their vans. And so there are people out here utilizing the space, camping overnight. This is all dispersed camping for the BLM. So there are people out here. So just kind of respect other users as well. But this area is quite large and available to you for parking. I will say that to kind of manage the time that it takes your runner to go from Black Canyon City to Table Mesa, it is a long stretch. They've got a long stretch of 9 miles from Black Canyon City to Cottonwood, and then from Cottonwood to Table Mesa. So just be cognizant that there's a lot of people that are going to be in and out of this area throughout the day. So you don't need to come here and park and stay for 4 hours while you're waiting for your runner. I would highly recommend that you stay at Deep Canyon Ranch because it is so much bigger and it accommodates more people. With the main aid cruise zone, we will have an LED screen with the live stream broadcast. So for crews to watch kind of the whole race as it unfolds throughout the day. And then you can kind of track your runner from this point and then decide when to get to Table Mesa, because this is only about 20 minutes away from Deep Canyon Ranch. So, and there's a lot more resources. There's a lot more things here at Deep Canyon Ranch for crews. than Table Mesa. Table Mesa doesn't really have anything out here except for the aid station for runners. So if you're going to kind of like wait for your runner and camp out a little bit and relax, maybe go get some food from Chalene's or some pie or something like that, like do it here at Deep Canyon Ranch. We will also have some food vendors here as well, but do it here at Deep Canyon Ranch and wait for your runner and make sure that you can kind of time it out. Then you can drive the 20 minutes to Table Mesa and meet your runner there. Yeah. So time it out a little bit. Crew rules, I'll let you guys go over that. But essentially all the same things that we've already been saying as far as where you're permitted and where you're not, parking in the designated areas that are highlighted on those maps, and slowing down when approaching any of those aid stations, and making sure that you're watching for runners. We ask that you are self-sufficient on race day. The aid stations are for runners only. So anything that you need to bring to either the Bumblebee Ranch or Deep Canyon Ranch, Table Mesa for you, that includes food and water, anything like that. Make sure that that you're taking care of yourself. Wear sunscreen, all those wonderful things. Plan for the rain. Yeah. At Emory Henderson, also be self-sufficient. There's really nothing at the finish line except for the finish line and the aid station, kind of the ending aid station for the runners. So be self-sufficient. The lovely thing about being picked up from the shuttle at Anthem is the Anthem Mall has a lot of options for food, but you're also welcome to bring chairs, you're welcome to bring coolers, you're welcome to bring anything else that you want to take on that bus, you're welcome to do it. Yeah, so plan ahead and just make sure that that you take care of yourself on race day as well. Okay. Same pacing rules, race day tracking. We'll have live links on the website that we will update for you as soon as the race kicks off. So we'll have runner tracking. We'll have a link for the live broadcast that is happening. And so that kicks off at 6:30 on Saturday. And our incredible live stream team is going to be live streaming the race as it unfolds, and they will follow runners from Spring Valley all the way to Emory Henderson. It's going to be really exciting. And we're so lucky that we can work with some amazing commentators and an incredible team to follow these runners and to give you all of the action on YouTube live on race day. So even if you are not, if you don't have a crew or runners or rather family that can make it out to Black Canyon, you still have the live stream that you can send them, that you can link to them and say, hey, follow me on race day. Here's the race. We want everybody to enjoy this race as much as possible. So even if you're not in Arizona, you can tune in. Again, just kind of reiterating the shuttle system on, especially for crews. It's free for you throughout the day. So it starts at 1 p.m. on Saturday for the 100K. And it's going to run kind of a round robin route all the way to about 4 a.m. on Sunday morning. So, so if you're a crew or a spectator or a family member looking to get to the finish line to support and see your runner, that shuttle is there and available to you at Anthem. Restrooms on course, if you're a runner or if you're a crew and you're looking just to make sure that you have restroom availability at these aid stations, we do put restrooms out on the course, really almost at every aid station, but also available to crew at the major crewed areas, so Bumblebee Ranch, Table Mesa, Deep Canyon Ranch. And then in the morning at Anthem Outlets, I want to just let them know, and also crew, that there are permanent restrooms right in this little nook right here. Right along here is going to be permanent restrooms for you to use as well. So there you are. That is it for the crew guide. Just please study your maps. Just be, very aware of where you can park, where you can't. Kind of plan your day appropriately, and follow the rules, and we'll have a great race. I'm really, really excited. This has kind of been, honestly, a bit of a trial this year, only with the amount of changes that came very last minute for the race, but also, just kind of keeping an eye out on the weather. And this race is really famous for, I've directed this race for, I think 6 or 7 years now. And about half that time we've had different courses. So this race always throws me a bit of a curveball every year. And so with the logistical changes of the aid stations, and the weather watch that we've got going on, it's always an exciting race, because it's just kind of a mixed bag, and I never know really what I'm going to pull each year. So, but just keep your eye out on the weather, and we will make sure to notify you of any changes, anything like that. But right now we're looking at an incredible race weekend, and I'm really, really excited to host every single one of you at onto the Black Canyon Trail and the Black Canyon Ultras, and to show you this incredible landscape that I really, really love. So thank you all for tuning in. If you have any questions, we're here to answer them. You can email us, info@aravaiparunning.com. And otherwise, we will see you all on race day.